You may now begin your presentation.
It begins with you, with us, with everyone in this room.
Our desire to make change is like a spark that ignites curiosity, which awakens ideas that shape our world.
We inspire each other to become the best versions of ourselves, to become change makers.
With 61 colleges and universities being represented here today, one thing that connects us is our passion to make a difference.
We are Ryerson, a university that embodies innovation through the largest entrepreneurship program in the country.
Enactus Ryerson has been a key stakeholder in developing this entrepreneurial ecosystem, and we've leveraged our education to create a new generation of change makers.
Darren, determined to apply his education to give his community access to affordable food.
Marina, strive to create economic opportunity for her students.
VJ, driven to provide clean drinking water for his community.
Out of our 9 projects this year, today we will showcase 3, and within each, a change maker that's used their education to better their community.
In each of our projects, an opportunity was identified, entrepreneurial action was taken, and community empowerment became our goal.
The results shown here today have all been audited and achieved this year.
Come with us to the territory of NUNAVUT, to NAUJAAT, an isolated Inuit community located on the Arctic Circle.
With temperatures averaging below -30 degrees, produce is nearly impossible to grow and must be flown in. Not only is this harmful to our environment, but when it storms, residents go hungry.
We are so used to walking into a grocery store and seeing the shelves stocked with seasonal fruits and vegetables. But in NAUJAAT, in the middle of July, I was shocked to see the shelves empty. The little produce that was there was already spoiled. 1 head of lettuce cost $2 in Toronto. In NAUJAAT, it's $8.
Imagine having no choice but to feed your children this overpriced and rotten food. This was the harsh reality that I witnessed in NAUJAAT. Residents are forced to pay 4 times more for produce compared to the average Canadian, resulting in 4 out of 5 households being food insecure.
One of the first people that I met in NAUJAAT was Darren. Darren had just graduated high school, and like many other Canadians, he had dreams of gaining employment. But in NAUJAAT, his dreams were not realistic.
With an unemployment rate of 77% in NAUJAAT, stories like Darren's were all too common. We knew it was essential to address these concerns with an all-encompassing, sustainable solution.
So we created Project Growing North.
We work closely with the Elder Council and the community of NAUJAAT, and in the middle of the Arctic tundra, we built a geodesic greenhouse.
The Green Igloo, as NAUJAAT youth call it, is more than an opportunity for accessible food. It brought together an entire community with hopes to solve their own needs.
By utilizing 310 hydroponic towers working in a closed-loop system, the greenhouse can provide over 53% of the community's annual intake of produce while reducing food prices by 51%.
We conducted 9 workshops on hydroponics, plant growth, and greenhouse maintenance to 238 community members.
By educating Darren on practical skills, we helped to prepare him to manage the greenhouse. I was excited to see Darren passing on his new knowledge to the other youth in the community. Watching him, I saw a role model. He mastered his new skills and was inspiring others to do the same.
After its first growing season, the greenhouse opened its doors to the community, providing over 300 pounds of fresh produce.
This proof of concept projects an annual of 13,000 pounds of fresh produce, addressing food insecurity on the Arctic Circle.
Through distribution through the farmers market and grocery store, we will generate revenues of over $40,000.
It was people like Darren that made our first growing season such a success. His new skills and motivation to help his own community made him the perfect candidate as the greenhouse manager. Let's see what Darren has to say.
It meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to people on some fresh vegetables from the greenhouse.
Building a greenhouse was an important first step in addressing food insecurity, but we needed to develop a sustainable plan.
Last year, we implemented a co-op program for the youth, and this past January, we expanded our co-op program within the local high school. With help from teachers in the community, we implemented a curriculum combining entrepreneurship with greenhouse operations.
Darren will now be working with 23 new high school students to help them earn school credits. He has become a role model for finishing high school.
Growing North's goal is to continue impacting more northern communities. This year, we participated in Google's Global Impact Challenge, a challenge that awards funding to Canadian projects tackling social issues around the world. More than 900 projects applied, and the people voted.
And we are proud to say that Google has awarded us with $250,000 to expand our initiative. As a result, by the end of 2018, 2 of our greenhouses will sit at the center of NUNAVUT, NUNAVUT's second largest community.
Education that changed lives in NAUJAAT will now be leveraged to do the same in NUNAVUT and other communities across NUNAVUT.
This year, we supported Darren, a change maker who has ignited a new approach to providing affordable food in his community.
Project Growing North will grow over 13,000 pounds of fresh produce, which will be sold at a price reduction of 51%.
We've worked with 23 co-op students to earn high school credits this year.
And secured over $550,000 to build 2 additional greenhouses in northern Canada.
Now, come with us to Peru.
To witness another changemaker in action.
Welcome to Pisac, located in the Sacred Valley of Peru, where the lack of economic opportunity has hindered the growth of the community.
As part of our needs assessment, I spoke with many residents in the community. I heard heartbreaking stories from mothers who wake their children at 5 a.m. each morning, not for school, but to get them ready to work at the local market to help the family.
Students struggled between choosing to provide for their families or going to school. Most students chose work. As for them, education offered little value.
It immediately struck me how different our lives are. Marina, a teacher at the Kusi Kause school, had to see this every single day.
Driven to end this cycle, Marina worked with 2 graduate students to implement a microbusiness at the Kusi Kause School Garden, a place where students can learn hands-on skills. But due to the lack of business acumen, the garden business failed.
Determined to continue this business, Marina reached out to Enactus Ryerson for support to create a sustainable program.
Together, we created Project Sacred Valley, a project with a mission to create economic opportunity for youth in the community. Through entrepreneurial education, students learn the necessary skills to operate, implement, and manage a business successfully.
We conducted 10 workshops translated into their local language to 117 youth addressing 3 essential topics.
Entrepreneurship. We taught them how to identify opportunities and start their own businesses.
Financial literacy. We taught students how to calculate revenue and expenses, track inventory, and forecast demand.
And marketing. Students were trained how to advertise and promote their businesses and present their brand to potential partners.
We provided Marina with the knowledge and resources to continue the workshops. Marina was now empowered to ensure the sustainability of her program.
Through experiential learning, Marina hired a team of 5 students to help her rebuild the garden business.
These students created their own brand for the garden, Kusinyan, meaning a new road. They felt it was a perfect name for this business, since for many of the students, this is exactly what this business would be.
With new entrepreneurial drive, the students partnered with 6 restaurants as new customers for their organic produce.
Marina and her students were able to convert a failing garden business into an inspiring and profitable enterprise. Here's what Marina had to say.
There's this sad stereotype that a farmer has not achieved much, but through the courses that Enactus is teaching and the experience that they're having at the farm, they're realizing that farming is actually a really admirable profession. They just love being at the farm. You know, they love having that hands-on experience and really understanding that this pattern makes sense.
As a change maker, Marina wanted more for her students, so we worked with her to expand our modules from 3 topics to 9.
And we are proud to say that an additional piece of land was secured for the students to expand their business by launching a second organic garden, which will officially open its doors in just 1 week from today. The second garden will employ 5 new graduated students for whom working in the mines is no longer their only option.
Project Sacred Valley has caught the attention of the mayor of PSAC, who has invited us to expand our program into 2 more schools in the community.
Through our collaboration, Marina has seen an increase in attendance. Youth are now excited to come to school and stay in school with the prospect of safer and better paying jobs.
Marina, a change maker who has ignited a new approach to economic opportunity in her community.
This year, we impacted a total of 117 individuals in the Sacred Valley.
Generated over $3,400 in our 9 months of operations.
By the end of this month, we will have created 10 jobs.
And impacted over 700 individuals.
Now, come with us to Gujarat, India.
To witness our 3rd changemaker in action.
Our most recent project worked with communities to address a basic necessity: water, the driving force of all nature and an essential part of human life.
In Gujarat, we conducted our needs assessment, where we discovered that 29% of households do not have access to clean drinking water. It was here, in the village of Vadu, home to 9,000 locals, that we met Vijay.
He is an expert in his craft, the pottery industry, a cultural craft that is proudly passed on through generations. His pots store and keep water cool. Unfortunately, the water that they hold is contaminated.
With agricultural runoff and sewage continuously seeping into the village's main source of water, locals have no choice but to drink this contaminated water.
As a result, villagers make multiple trips to the hospital with severe cases of diarrhea, kidney stones, and bacterial infections.
Vijay desperately wanted to put an end to this cycle of suffering, and the clay pots that he sold daily became a key component to our solution. So together, we created Project Pura, our very own water filtration project.
Through research, development, and support from our expert partners, we developed a water filter. A filter that Vijay further innovated upon using local materials found in his own backyard. Combining clay, activated carbon, and rice husks, together we created a reusable water filter that purifies dirty well water into clean, drinkable water.
This filter eliminates bacteria and organic compounds and can filter up to 20 liters of water per day. Let's hear what Vijay had to say.
અત્યારે જે આવો પ્લાન્ટ આપણે ડાયરેક્ટલી લઈએ છીએ એમાં પાવરનો બી સપ્લાય જરૂર પડે છે એટલે કે મીન્સ કે લાઇટ બિલ જે વધારે આવશે એ ઓછું થાય છે આમાં કોઈ લાઇટની જરૂર હોતી નહીં બરાબર અને આમાં કેવું કે વગર પૈસે બી એકવાર ખાલી આ લેવાનો જ ખર્ચો થાય છે પણ પછી એની અંદર બીજો કોઈ ખર્ચ આવતો નથી અને પાણી બી ચોખ્ખું મળશે આવો ટાઈપ.
To ensure sustainability, we used the train-the-trainer approach and educated these potters on how to manufacture and sell the water filters.
Potters can create a filter for $2 and then sell them at a range from $6 to $8. This is 5 times less than the average price of a water filter in India. This government-approved filter can last up to 2 years.
Educating the potters was just one branch of our process. We wanted to teach the community about unsafe drinking water.
So we partnered with 3 educational institutions to educate 1,300 students on how to tackle water contamination issues in their communities.
The school asked us to implement our program within their curriculums. Students will now create innovative ideas to combat water issues, just like Vijay had done for his community.
Often, a changemaker's effect will go beyond their community. Vijay's contributions inspired our 2nd chapter of Project Pura, which takes us to Asut, a village located in Upper Egypt. Our needs assessment revealed that 2 out of 5 families in Asut drink contaminated water.
After leveraging our proven model for India, we worked with local potters to customize the filters to better meet the needs of this community. We taught these potters how to manufacture and sell the filters.
Our success caught the attention of the Egyptian holding company for water and wastewater.
After testing our filters, this government agency is partnering with us to tackle food, to scale our model into 15 regions that suffer from the same issues.
Changemakers like Vijay have ignited a spark, empowering others to work towards clean water solutions in their communities.
Between Egypt and India, we have manufactured and sold 51 water filters, providing over 140,000 liters of clean drinking water.
We have impacted over 7,000 individuals.
By the end of this year, we will have manufactured 250 water filters,
which will filter more than 2.5 million liters of clean drinking water.
This year, we empowered livelihoods socially,
economically,
and environmentally.
It was with a team of over 110 active members
that Enactus Ryerson has created 149 new jobs,
raised over $650,000,
and directly impacted over 24,000 individuals.
We may come from different parts of the world and speak different languages, but we all have the power to be change makers, whether it's here or around the world.
Darren, a change maker and NAUJAAT NUNAVUT who will be operating the territory's first geodesic greenhouse while inspiring youth to stay in school.
Marina, a changemaker in PSAC Peru whose commitment and drive will provide students with a chance for a more promising future.
And Vijay, a changemaker in Gujarat, India, who took an essential role in providing his community with access to clean drinking water.
We believe as changemakers, each and every one of us has the power to create a better tomorrow
for everyone.
Everywhere.
We are
Enactus Ryerson.
We will now begin the question and answer period.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.
How do you pick the person that is the enabler? So how do you find that person? How do you select that person that you back in terms of your projects?
So usually in all our projects, we have, let's say, a partner. So let's say in India, we worked with our partners, and there we identified local potters. And in that community, Vijay was the one that had a lot of skill. He was very interested in helping himself and helping his community. And it's really, each of our change makers stood out because they wanted to create a change, and that's why they're change makers. So we wanted to ensure that our change makers were the ones that took the stand and really stood out. So that's how we chose them.
Quick question on the greenhouses. If you could talk a little bit more about the revenue model there, for a couple of reasons. One, there's a very high upfront cost, so I'm interested to know what the payback is on each of the greenhouses and how you can scale that to make it sustainable.
Thank you. So previously, each greenhouse cost around $120,000. However, through knowledge from our expert partners, we have been able to lower this to $80,000. So we are actually happy to say that Growing North is now operating as a nonprofit organization. So with each greenhouse, we can generate approximately $40,000 in revenue. So to create a sustainable nonprofit organization, we first need to cover our operation costs and then make sure that we actually have enough money to meet the need of the community and minimize our internal and external risk. So with this $40,000, we can cover our $25,000 operation costs, and the surplus from this is a portion of it is used to fund the next greenhouse that we will be using in the next community, and a portion of it is actually used as a reserve just in case something goes wrong or there's a fluctuation in a growing season. We have a little bit of a cost to cover any abnormalities.
Can I just ask a question on demand and supply with the supermarkets, just so I understand a little bit better? What's actually going on? Is it that food is running out, or is it too expensive and people can't afford it? What's happening, and what do the supermarket owners tell you?
Sure, so it's actually both issues that are happening at the same time. So number one, food is actually very expensive to fly in general. So it's actually very expensive for the grocer to purchase this flown in produce. So what happens is that they end up either not purchasing them because they can't afford to purchase it, or the produce that they did fly in to sell to the community is already spoiled by the time it gets there due to the harsh climate. Sometimes planes can't even land within the community. So through the greenhouse, we're actually able to sell the produce to the grocer at $3, and they can sell this to the community at a price reduction of 51%.
Can you break out the 32,000 people you've directly impacted in big picture terms? How it's broken out?
So the 24,000 is broken out in a couple ways. So firstly, the 20,000 comes from our project Going North. This year we participated in 2 very important events. So firstly, the Google Impact Challenge, and one was We Day, so where we talked to over 10,000 individuals, youth, about food insecurity and about our project. Furthermore, for our Google Impact, we got thousands of votes for food insecurity, and they also learned about food insecurity and what's going on in the North and our project and what we're doing. The rest of the 4,000 comes from the rest of our other 8 projects that we were able to directly impact. Don't be shy, guys.
As a judge who's just watched 4 outstanding presentations, why should we choose you?
Good question. So I'm going to start off by saying everyone here is a winner. So congratulations to everyone here.
Woo!
This year, one of our goals was to present our project. The way we did our presentation, we wanted to talk about our 3 change makers, but not only are they the 3 change makers, but they're addressing the 3 basic necessities of life. So Darren is tackling food insecurity in the North.
Your time has expired. Judges and guests, please help me in thanking the team from Ryerson University.